Concerns with your future teaching career?
Well, since I'm moving to California, I'm not sure what the requirements are there. So I'm concerned that I won't be able to teach because of the licensing differences in the state.
Okay, and then is that your only concern, or do you have more than that?
Well, I'm also concerned about the cultural demographics of LA. It's way different than Des Moines, so it'll be weird getting used to the different cultures and ethnic groups.
Yeah, do you know where you are placed for student teaching it?
Not yet. I'm hoping for inner city Des Moines, so I have more of a diverse background, but we'll see.
Okay. What do you mean by diversity?
Well,
Racial or?
Racial and socioeconomic. I know where I grew up, everyone is in the same socioeconomic category, but in LA there are a lot of different areas, so you can have really rich kids going to school with really poor kids, and it mixes funny. So in Des Moines I know I'd get a better chance of seeing that.
Okay. And how much do you know about how licensure in Iowa compares to that in California?
Well, I know we both have to take the praxis exam, but I'm not sure if they have other tests in California, and I'm not sure about the scoring differences.
Okay.
So I have to look into that.
Okay. What do you think you can do to begin preparing for your student teaching experience?
Well, for student teaching, I am looking at how Des Moines schools work, because it's different than where I grew up. And then I'm also talking to different teachers that I know in the school district. So I think that'll help.
And what is your endorsement?
Special education.
Okay. What kinds of skills are you hoping to develop or improve during your student teaching experience?
Well, during student teaching, I hope that I can have more of a technology background.
Okay.
That's something we haven't really talked that much about in school, so I'm hoping that I'll develop more of a history in that. And then also working with students. We haven't had much of a chance to work with special education students up until now.
Okay. And what knowledge do you have about how the technology use and things like that in special education compared to all of the general ed practicum experiences that you've had?
Well, in gen ed we used it mainly for PowerPoints and showing the assignments on the board. But I know in special education some students have it for personal use so they can do better in school academically.
Okay. And what are you hoping to, what would you say are your greatest weaknesses that would make you most nervous about your student teaching?
Well, since we haven't had a chance to really see a special education room, I'm nervous about the differences between gen ed and special ed and how my skills will change.
And then do you also have concerns about how like the special education laws and things differ from Iowa and California?
I think they're mainly the same because they're national laws, but I'm sure the state also has a few things.
Okay.
I actually didn't even think about looking that up, so that's a really good question.
So that might be something you could do. Okay.
All right.